Why doesn't it? I don't know. I don't like that. Let me make sure I have the book downloaded. We are live, by the way.
Oh, we're live?
I mean, we're not live, but
We're talking. They can hear
it can
us
hear us,
talking
right? The system,
about things.
the system is working. I gotta pull up my Kendall. I mean, Jesus, how many books do you download?
All of them are free.
It don't matter. There's a lot of books on
free.
here. You gotta read them all. I'm not quite sure how long this one's gonna take. Not that long. Looks like. Jared.
Yeah, Jared's gonna be in the background just yelling stuff. They're playing Minecraft and Sonic. So he's excited.
Wonderful. It is 7:30. I think this one's going to be a short one.
Probably, might be.
My God. Should we?
I think we can probably start. I don't know.
Figure out how to do this. Okay.
Oh no. Sorry.
Text.
I'm not texting. I'm telling people we're live. Shut up.
It's the same thing. Are you using your fingers to send a message that is text-based? Then it is... Oh, sorry. Thumbs. Clarify.
I'm sorry.
You should be.
You are.
You're born sorry.
I'm not from Canada.
Aw. Hey?
Michigan, but you know.
Curses. Mished again.
Good Lord. Hi, Jamie.
Hi, Jamie.
Look, we have shirts. They match.
We do match. No, they don't match.
Well, I mean, one's yellow and one's blue because
Yellow
blue's
does
my favorite
kind
color.
of go
Yellow's
with
his favorite
blue.
color, but they're my shirts. I hate
Yellow.
them.
Okay.
Bubbles' dad, this is for you.
Bubbles'
I hope that you
dad.
eventually get to watch this because I don't think you're on right now.
This is for you.
I feel like we're going to probably cry on this one.
I think you're gonna cry.
I
I'm
might.
gonna be fine.
I don't know. I guess we'll find out how much of a monster
never-
I truly am.
I never cry. Never.
Never.
Never have.
You gonna read it like Greg?
No, I could. Love in Different Shades. By Bubbles' dad, because I'm not quite sure how to say that last name. I'm likely going to butcher it, but I'm going to go with A. Blachernae. I could be wrong.
Could be wrong. We
Could
have no
be.
idea. That's why we're going with Bubbles' dad.
So, Love in Different Shades. 50 Shades of Love, that is. Actually, sorry, that's probably disrespectful. Love in Different Shades is an anthology of short stories dedicated to the most visceral of emotions, love. Aww.
Love.
That isn't a heart.
Yes, it is.
You made a loaf of bread. That looks like a loaf of... Ow.
Oh, something fell on our front porch. Hold on.
Squirrel.
What are you doing?
What happened? Hang on.
Tis the window well cover.
Be right back.
No, it's just the window well cover.
I know,
It's
but I
fine.
just wanted to
Oh,
put
you
up
want
the...
to put up the thing? Look
Yeah.
at our pretty pictures.
Look, it's us.
He's got a shovel.
I do. It's not a shovel. A shovel is just a ginormous spoon for Greg. Whoop, wrong button. This one. There we go. Okay. So, Lacey reached out to Bubbles' dad for a suggestion as to which one to read, and the suggestion was just the first one in the book. So, it's probably going to be short. It looks like it's only, I don't know, a couple dozen pages or so. So I'm going to read this. Actually, this is going to be fresh. So I have never read this or any parts of it just yet. Usually I'm a little bit more prepared. But in this particular case, I did not have time. So I did not do that. But it's called Love at First Sight. And she is going to cry. I am going to
giggle a bunch in the background.
Never cry because I don't cry. But here we go. Love at First Sight. So Love in Different Shades. First short story, Love at First Sight. Can there ever be love at first sight? I wish I had a stand.
Want to stand? I get you a stand. Hold on.
Can you get a stand? Ooh. Piece of candy.
Oh, shut up.
Your butt was in my face. Of
Well,
course
I'm
it's a piece of candy.
sorry. Here.
What?
Here you go.
Sheesh.
Have
All right,
a
there we
stand.
go.
I'm gonna turn the light.
Light on. Light. Let there be light. And the Azure said.
I apologize for the children in the background. They are loud.
They're playing Minecraft and
Sonic Minecraft.
they are having
Fun.
fun. So, love at first sight. Can there ever be love at first sight? She didn't know it, but for me, it had always been love at first sight. I still remember the day I met her. She had walked into my tiny cage, kneeled down in front of me, smiled, and asked if I knew who the good boy was. I didn't, but I licked her face anyway. It was only later I'd learned that it was me. I'd been the good boy all along. Sheesh. She had laughed and kissed my head, then slipped the thingy around my neck that let people know I was hers. I didn't know what it was, but it was snug and warm, and I knew I was never supposed to let anyone except Mother take it off my neck. When she took me for walks, I made sure to show it to all my brothers and sisters. They all had one too, but I was especially proud of mine. It meant I was my mama's, and she loved me. I'd led Mother out of that loud and scary place with the mean humans who never fed me enough, scampering around on the sidewalk. It had been so long since I'd felt the sun and the wind. New pet? I looked up at the kind old human, grinning and wagging my tail. He seemed nice, and Mother was smiling at him, too. Do you want to read Mother's parts?
Oh, sure. I shall be mom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I lost my spot. Mother, sorry. Mother said, reaching down and patting my head.
Poor guy. He'd been in the pound for nearly 2 years. He's such a friendly little guy. I just knew I had to take him home with me.
Wish you luck, the man said, and walked off, and Mama led me to a strange contraption she called a car. It was what the humans used when they had the zoomies. My friend Fredo, I'm going to go with Fredo. Fredo would later tell me. Made sense, too. It went really fast and was really loud. I wonder why the humans needed them to go zoomies. Was it because they all just had 2 legs like Mother did? Poor strange creatures. But I loved her anyway. I like car zoomies. Mama rolls the window down for me, and I can feel the wind in my fur and bark at the other dogs enjoying zoomies in their parents' cars. I met a cat during a ride once. Not sure I liked them very much. He was mean and told me to buzz off. What I liked better than the car zoomies was my new home. At first, I thought the tiny cage she was trying to lead me into was our new home, and I threw a little tantrum. I'm not proud of it, but it reminded me too much of my old home and those mean humans, but Mother simply shook her head and led me up some stairs and to our real home. And it was amazing. She told me something called rent was super high in the city and the apartment wasn't too big, but I wasn't listening. There was more than one room, and all doors were open. As soon as she freed me, I made sure to inspect the entirety of our new home. You never knew where danger or mice lurked. But there was no danger in our new home. All I could smell was Mama. I rubbed my butt against a few walls so she could smell me, and remembered that this was my home now, too. I wondered if I smelled as nice to her as she did to me. Probably not, because she made me stand in the dreaded tub and washed me with shampoo that made me sneeze that very night. She said it was in case I'd gotten fleas from the bad place. I've never had fleas, but Frito says they're even worse than cats. I don't think anything can ever be worse than cats. I was a little scared of the bath and the water because I'd never done it before in my life, but the second time Mother tried to give me one, I splashed her with some water and she laughed and joined me in the tub. I like having baths with Mama now. She always has another bath after we finish ours. I don't know why, but Frito tells me not to overthink it. He's right. My mother, like all humans, is a very strange creature. But I love her anyway. I love her even when she gets mad at me. She usually gets mad at me when I break something in the house or climb up on the couch. I don't understand why I can't be on the couch. It's where the best window is, and when I'm on it, I can look out to see the cars and meet my pigeon friends. As for the plant whose house I broke, it was asking for it, making me sneeze every time I went close to it. I'm convinced the cat and plants are in cahoots, and was very happy when Mother never brought it home another plant again. It was just me and Mother in our house. I liked it that way. Sometimes, lots of humans would come over to meet Mama, and I had to stay in the bedroom while they were in the house. I thought about protesting because it was my house, not theirs, but when they left, she always came over with an apologetic look that melted my heart.
Aww.
I got extra treats and cuddles those nights and realized that it wasn't all bad. Sometimes Mother would have men I didn't know over for sleepovers.
Oh my.
It was strange because those nights, instead of in the bedroom, I was shut out of it. I liked some of them, but not all. I made sure to warn Mama of the ones I didn't. She didn't have teeth or claws or good hearing. It was my job to protect her. But none of them stuck around, and we'd always return to how I liked it, me and her in our little home. We had our own little routine. Every morning I'd wake up and lick her face. Mother always grumbled about it, but my tummy doesn't listen to anyone. Frito says dog stomachs have a mind of their own. I have to agree because when I'm hungry in the mornings, I can't help it. I have to go wake her up. After I've eaten, and she'd had this terrible thing called coffee, I licked some after she spilled it, and it was the worst thing I'd ever drunk. Frito says it's poison. I don't disagree. She takes me out on a walk so I can meet all my friends and do my business. Mother always collects my poop in a little bag. I don't know why, and neither does Frito. Like I said, strange creatures. Then she went to work in a place where they made food for other humans. It's lonely without her. And when it's time for her to come back, I sit by the door to surprise her. She's never surprised.
Aww.
After she's home, if she's not too tired, we go to the park and I can play with Frito. Frito is younger than me, and his father is very nice. He always has treats for both of us. I wouldn't mind Frito and his dad moving in with me and Mom.
Aww.
If she is too tired or has work the next day, I'd curl up by her leg while she watched other humans on this big box we have at home. I like watching it with her. It's fun. I don't know how long we lived like this, but it was a happy life, and I never wanted it to end. But one bath day, Mother was bathing me and found a ball in my tummy. I don't know how it got there. I never eat my balls. I don't know what the fuss was. I mean, it was just a ball. It had come out of me one day. But Mother got really worried and took me to a human she called the vet. It's where dogs go when they're sick, Frito told me. I tried to tell her I wasn't sick, but she wouldn't listen. I gave up after the second visit. I liked Mr. Vet, even after he poked me with a needle and took away my fur. I didn't like him after he convinced Mama to leave me with him overnight. I didn't wake up early the next morning. When I woke up, my tummy hurt and itched, and he had trapped me in a strange cone. I couldn't even scratch my own itch. I thought about biting him instead, but Mother came and took me home. I got extra cuddles and treats that day and a lot of days after it. Sometimes the treats were bitter, but I think that's just because she was stressed and distracted by what Mr. Vet had done to me and spilled some of her coffee on them. One day, she took my cone off and life went back to the way I liked it. Except now, she would feel my tummy every day. The ball was gone, but one day it came back. I tried to hide it from her so I wouldn't have to go back to the evil human, but she found out anyway. Where were all these balls coming from? I had been sleeping a lot more. Maybe Mr. Vet was sneaking in and feeding them to me while I was asleep. Mother gave him something from her bag at every visit, and I'm sure he just wanted more of whatever she gave. Evil man. I cried and begged and howled, but she still took me back to him. He did his poking and his prodding and put me in that machine that looks like a donut but isn't a donut, and then took her to another room. I resigned myself to being left alone for another night, to be itchy and hurty again. Stupid balls. I know, buddy. I know. She didn't leave me there. She came back and took me with her to the car, but instead of driving away, she started crying. I don't like it when Mama cries. Oh my gosh.
I know. They are just so loud.
I tried to lick her tears away, but she just buried her face in my neck and told me she loved me. I told her I'd loved her from the day I met her. I think she understood. She took a holiday after that visit to Mr. Vet. We played in parks, splashed in streams, and went on a car trip to see my grandmother. One day, she woke me up and took me back to Mr. Vet. She cried the whole way there, and I couldn't do anything to make it stop. I told her I didn't mind the pain. The itch wasn't too bad. That the cone was embarrassing, but I'd wear it for her. But she still cried. The evil man took us to a room I had never seen before, and Mama helped me onto a soft cushion on a table. She hugged me tight and kept telling me she loved me. We ignored the evil man tinkering around in the corner. Mama kissed my head. I love you. Oh, sorry, that's you.
No, it's okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, I love you. Goodbye.
She whispered, her tears splashing into my fur. I love you too, Mama. I've loved you since the day I met you, and I'll never stop. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm sorry, Dr. Kaepernick said as he walked out into the waiting area, carrying a small urn in his hands. He handed it over to Emma, silently stepping back. He hated this part of his job. I know it is difficult.
You have no idea.
Emma whispered, hiccuping quietly. She took the urn from him, cradling it in her arms.
It was love at first sight.
That one's rough.
That one is rough. Holy crap. So yeah. Pets are family.
Pets are family, absolutely.
And we actually just recently lost 2 of our cats last year.
Yep, that was rough.
Yeah, Neko, she was 20. We lost her to skin cancer. It was eating away at her face. Unfortunately, there was nothing we could do. And then Cinder unexpectedly grew balls. And he
in his stomach, and he
had cancer, just like the dog in this thing. But it is very hard to lose a pet. Almost no matter what. They're your love. They're your life. They're your family. Take care of them. Shelter pets need love.
Please.
Just as much as ones that you buy from a store. Sorry, this was not nearly as much chaos as the previous ones were.
Well,
screaming in the
there
background.
was screaming in the background, so
But
at least there was some chaos.
I did cry because I love pets. And I miss Neko. And Cinder.
Oof. And Gus.
So Bubbles is dead? How dare you?
I mean, I liked it. It's a good short story. It's really hard hitting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Pets in general, they're in our lives for, in some cases, a short blip, in others, a lot longer. In Nako's case, right, 20 years.
And we have their ashes in our bedroom. So
we're a part of their whole life.
Whole life. Sometimes.
Yep.
I got Nako when she was this big. We got Cinder when he was 3 or 4?
Cinder was 4. Cinder was an older cat, shelter rescue that we brought home after the passing of Gus, whom was my kitten that I actually meowed at work. He was stuck underneath of a pallet, and I couldn't get him out. I spent hours trying to get him out. I meowed at him, and he walked right up to me.
And he called me at 2 a.m. in the morning and said, "Hey, guess what I found?"
Right,
and
I'm like,
that's
hey,
how we got Gus.
Here's a cat.
Yeah, unfortunately, Gus passed when he was 3. His breed, we didn't know at the time, has issues with hairballs. And we had just moved into this house, and I brought him here.
Couldn't get it out.
And I wanted to get him acclimated, so I left. And when I came back, he was gone.
That was a rough day.
Very unexpected. So, and then Chase was our oldest was like 1 or 2.
He was like 1 and maybe at 2 months. I think he was like 14 or 15 months.
Yeah, so we didn't want to have to try to explain what happened to a 1-year-old, that his cat wasn't coming back. So we went and adopted Cinder, and we had Cinder for a very long time. Yeah.
Cinder is a good...
And now we have Luna. She's black, and black cats are actually one of the least adopted animals during the year, and are actually unadoptable in October because of Halloween.
Superstitions.
Not just superstitions, because people will get them and sacrifice them.
Oh, what the hell?
Yeah.
I didn't know that happened.
Yeah.
Those people suck.
That's why they don't...
we should toss them off a bridge.
Yeah. They don't adopt out black cats during Halloween because of that. So I didn't know if anybody knew that. But black cats are really hard to adopt in those months, but they are also one of the least adoptable because people don't want them because of superstitions. But I saw her and I had to have her because her name was Luna and she was black, and I loved Sailor Moon.
I think that's really all we had for this evening. This
and
evening
was
going to be
a short one,
rather short, but it's a short story anthology.
Hug your pets.
Check out the story itself. Love in Different Shades.
And not only that, cancer is a big deal. It touches more people than you think it does. It
touched me in a place that I never wanted it to touch.
Yes, we never expected to have it touch ourselves in our lives, and he is 2 years in remission from his cancer. So the whole balls thing, yeah.
I don't know if that's
you can't see it. It's just a breath. Oh, there it goes.
Love in Different Shades. Check it out. It's a short story anthology about love. Be homies, but once you get to know me.
I would like to read more of this, like the shorts. I think that this is one way to hey, you know what? We're gonna sucker punch you right in the beginning so that you want to read more.
I would, but we need permission.
I know. Well, maybe another day we will do another one. But
sure.
For today, here's your sadness.
Yep.
And check out more.
Yep. Check out more. Check out Love in Different Shades. It's a short story anthology. Obviously, that one's really, really hard hitting.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. There, Bubbles' dad.
Bubbles' dad.
Next stream is going to be May 8th. May 8th, not the 8th. Sorry, is it the 7th? It is the 7th, May the 7th. So
the day before Mother's Day.
The day before Mother's Day, we are going to be reading a trashy romance, medieval romance.
And he's going to have flowers
so
and a fake wine glass.
I'm going to, we're going all out for Mother's Day.
And he's going to read it in his smut voice.
It's going to be very sensual and, really out there for all the mothers. So, day before Mother's Day. No, I dropped my ring.
Why did you playing with it?
It fell off my finger. I don't know why. Sorry. It's going to be very sensual, and it should be a lot of fun. I don't expect actually to have the forever guest here with me that day because I think she's going to be off to the side, giggling 99% of the time.
If it's
I'm
smut,
not sure.
I will be.
So I think... Did we have anything else? We don't have anything else. That's pretty much it, right?
No. I mean, what could we do?
What could we do?
I mean,
there's a lot of things we could do.
We could get
but
some.
They wouldn't
Jamie
be really
is here.
Yeah, Jamie. Oh God,
Jamie.
I'm sorry, Jamie, not Jamie. There is no axe with that one.
No.
Is Jamie here? I'm not sure.
I don't know if Jamie's here. She was here.
I think I can click this button.
Oh. I don't know. It says people are here.
I have no idea what that means.
I don't either. There's one viewer. Viewer's hidden. Viewer's not hitting. I don't know really if anything else that we could do.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think we're just gonna call it here because it's rather short.
You know
Unless
what?
you have something.
I gotta do something. Hold on.
Uh-oh. I mean, if we had 3 balls, I could juggle.
Since we have some shorts going on,
Ooh, yeah. Actually, that's not a bad idea.
I'm doing one of my favorites. Make people hungry.
We can read a short.
So this is a short from my book, 13 Zodiac.
Do I need it? Are we just gonna? Oh, we're gonna share. Oh, how sweet.
Yes.
Oh.
All right, so to come down a little bit from
off of the
we're gonna make
the
people
sad.
really hungry for apple crisp cookies. All right. Bonus short stories from the 13th Zodiac.
With a little bit of smut voice reading.
Oh boy.
Smoke filled the cottage. Frantic shouting came from the kitchen as Leah stood in the doorway, giggling to herself.
Come on, she's like 13. Stop it.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't realize that there was. We didn't read the top part.
Well, you probably should read the top part.
Okay.
Okay.
Eternity, infinity symbol. Year 1014, age 13. Smoke filled the small cottage. Frantic shouting came from the kitchen as Leah stood in the doorway, giggling to herself. Jamie tried to cook again without success. Giroux stood in the kitchen like an asshole. A frown plastered on his face as he moved a large fan up and down, pushing the smoke out the windows. It's a girl voice. Are you going to do it, or should I?
I can't make freaking toast.
Jamie tossed the burnt toast to the floor. Smoke filtered out through the open windows. Tokay leaned against the door frame like an awesome, putting his hand over top of Leah's head. It's probably for the best, Jamie, he shouted over the clattering of utensils, as their mother tried and failed to once again teach Jamie basic cooking. This isn't even basic cooking. This is like a step below basic cooking.
It's toast.
Toasty!
Yeah.
Leah echoed, covering her mouth. Tokay cupped his hands around his mouth to shout at his brother, "You make a fantastic fan, Giroux, asshole." "Screw you, Tokay," Giroux shouted back.
Come on, Jamie. I believe in you.
Leah snickered. Jamie stormed up to Leah.
Let's see you do better. Challenge accepted.
Leah snatched the whisk from Jamie's hand. Why is she using a whisk for toast?
Just keep going.
And marched into the kitchen. Vivian Fairway leaned over the counter with her head buried in her arms. Ingredients were laid out on the table. Flour was spread on a cooking sheet, and rolled oats, apples, and cinnamon were waiting in bowls. Leah raised an eyebrow.
This looks nothing like toast. That's because Jamie managed to burn toast in a cookie recipe.
Vivian said through her arms. She brought her head up and smiled sweetly at Leah.
Would you like to try? I would.
Leah presented the whisk she was holding proudly.
I'm always willing to learn.
Vivian watched in awe as Leah took matters into her own hands. Leah pulled the bowl closer. The flour and oats were already measured and prepared. She picked up an egg from the carton and traced the words on the recipe with her free hand. Tapping the egg against the table, she cracked it with one hand.
I can't do that. He can.
I can. Vivian's eyes brightened as Leah cracked a second egg and mixed, stirring with one hand. Leah shifted the sugars into the bowl.
Mom, can you get me a hand with this?
Leah slid the cutting board closer to Vivian and placed the knife on it with 3 bright green apples.
Of course.
Vivian took the knife. She skinned and cut the apples into small pieces. Without losing her place in the recipe, Leah grabbed a handful of apple chunks and stirred them in. Geez, I wish I could do that. I look up from the book and I lose my spot. Crap. Case in point. Wait a minute. Am I here? Brought the baking tray toward her?
Yes.
Okay. She brought the baking tray toward her and pressed down the parchment. With carefully measured globs of dough, Leah placed 9 cookies on the first sheet. Vivian pulled the oven's doors open. Leah stood on her tiptoes and pushed the tray inside. 13 minutes later, 13 Zodiac confirmed. Sweet smells replaced the smoke in the small cottage. Jamie dozed on the couch nearby. Tokay stood with his arms crossed, watching his mother and Leah bake like an awesome. I can't wait to taste them. They smell amazing.
They look amazing, too.
Vivian reached into the open flame oven and removed the fresh apple crisp cookies. Placing them onto the counter, she fanned the steam away from them. Perfect little round cookies lined the baking. Why can't you make perfect round cookies?
Because I like chaos with my cookies. I just put globs on there and hope they come out fully done. I'm an okay cook for certain things. I can bake stuff, and apparently Leah is better at it than me.
So I like this next part because this next part is me.
It is completely him.
Leah leaned over them and sprinkled some coarse sugar across the tops as they cooled. Tokay wandered in, picking one of the fresh out of the oven cookies and went to eat it in one bite. Hot! He waved his hand, frantically trying to cool his mouth.
Well, they just came out, Tokay. What did you expect?
Leah washed her hands in the sink. Well, you could have warned me. He took a second and blew on it. Vivian picked one. The cookies were still soft and a little sticky from all the sugars holding them together. Small bits of perfectly cooked apple were mixed into the oats and flour. She blew on it, then took a small bite. Closing her small eyes, a small moan escaped her small lips.
There's too many smalls in this paragraph. Oh, God.
Vivian smiled at Leah.
I have to say, Leah, you're a natural. God, I forgot there were smalls.
Oh.
So many smalls. If I put too many smalls in his paragraph, he adds them everywhere.
More than 2 is too many. All right.
Yeah.
I think we're good. I think we're going to call it there. Cool. This will be a short one.
Yep. A little bonus short from my stuff. And, of course...
Check out... Sorry, I got to figure out how to point at it. There we go. Check out that book. And obviously, I am at Lathina on Twitter. This is Azure at the 13th Z on
Lady
Twitter.
Of the Gunblade.
Our fair lady of the Gunblade. And we will see you guys next time. Would you like to wave bye?
Bye.
Bye.